evening.
It's
Hello.
Sunday evening. Hello.
Yes. Are you
Am I pumped up?
Yeah, did that opening pump you up?
I did a little meditation before that, and I feel a little bit better. I'm still tired from all my traveling this weekend, but thank you, Commander, for asking.
Yeah, right on. So what do we have to talk about today? So I was
Well, we
busy
have to talk
cooking.
about something because we're waiting for our guests to show up.
I knew this was going to happen sooner or later, but we've been lucky. We made it almost a whole year without getting no-showed, and guess what? Here we are sitting by ourselves. Our guests did not show up, so we apologize.
Yeah, we apologize. We were supposed to do the president of Operation Truth, Staff Sergeant, retired, disabled Army Counterintelligence Special Agent, Sarah Boyd. Is that correct?
Yes.
She was supposed to be on tonight, and we're going to give her a little bit, hopefully, and she'll hopefully come in late. So, Sarah, wherever you are, we would love to talk to you.
Yeah, hop on. So, in the meantime, I just want to thank our Patreons. And I'm going to run our commercial here in a second for Mr. Jeffrey Sabins
of Proven Valor Professionals.
Your buddy at Supper Designs, I've been in communication with him. We're having a website built so we can get information out.
That's great, because we just paid him yesterday. Thank you, Chris Nobles, by the way.
Chris Nobles, yes. I'm doing multiple things here, so.
Oh, yeah. Joey King, thank you very much for today is, obviously, Women Veterans Appreciation Day. So thank you to all the women that have served this country honorably. We thank you and we salute you.
Yes. Happy Women's Veterans Day.
Happy Women's Veterans Day. That's right.
So I want to thank our Patreon members because they're the ones that are paying for stuff that are like keeping us on the air, and also the website's getting covered through our Patreons.
When will the website be done?
So I don't know. I told him I'm not like a huge hurry, so he has a bunch of other things going on, so it'll probably be a month or two.
Okay. I know I've given him a bunch of leads. So I know last time I talked to him, he was like super busy. So
yes, he is very busy.
Dude, we got to go over to South Carolina to visit him, because that's where he's at.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm always down for a road trip. So now we have a message from our show sponsor.
Yeah, and I'll send him a link to this so he can say that we gave him a shout out.
Heck yeah.
Man, that's as motivating as the national anthem. Whenever I see a picture of Gunny Sabins, I go immediately back to 2006, to Ramadi. I mean, I don't see that awesome built man. I see a skinny kid, just like me, in the streets of Ramadi patrolling. That's what I see when I see that commercial.
Yes,
but thank you, Gunny Sabins, for everything you do, and hopefully I can have a couple conversations with him, because I myself will be writing a book about my life, and he'll be helping me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I have no idea what I'm going to write about. That's why I'm calling Gunny Sabins, because he's a lifesaver.
So a couple weeks ago, we had a Top Gun pilot on, and he's doing some incredible things.
Yeah.
So I asked him if we could continue to use his trailer. He has a movie coming out November 11th.
Yep, November 11th.
And so I'm gonna play his trailer for us real quick.
Wiz, this is for you, buddy.
My name's Matthew Buckley. My call sign as a fighter pilot was Whiz. I served the United States Navy on active duty for 10 years and then flew fighters in the reserves for 6 years.
Being a fighter pilot for the United States Navy was the culmination of a dream. Dogfights at supersonic speed on the edge of consciousness. Life and death situations created stress, trauma, depression, anxiety, and fear.
Substantially healed me, and I was in a bad place. I wish you could have seen me. I mean, the before and after was profound.
You know, I joined at 17, even with all the classes, even with all the training, it just, the gravity of doing what we did for 20-some years was just heavy. And it weighs on me. It's like a giant backpack full of crap.
You know, we all have bad relationships. We all have, we all have things that happen. Doesn't matter whether you're a fighter pilot or whether you're a CEO or whether you're a filmmaker. It makes no difference. The stuff that gets said impacts the kids. We've had a relationship off and on, but the last 5, almost 6 years, nothing.
Tom Bart. I was a F-14 guy, Top Gun graduate, strike lead, and I loved every minute of it. And I never got out of the cockpit for 4 squadrons in a row, so I was a little amped when I left the Navy. My intention here is to just stop dampening it with destructive self-behavior.
The military does an incredibly good job of training you for combat and doing some pretty horrible stuff to another human being. And then when they're done with you, they do a pretty shitty job of transitioning you back to being a human.
So I wasn't processing those traumas. I wasn't dealing with them. And unfortunately, for a long time, I was numbing them out with illicit drugs and all kinds of other stuff.
And I see that in many of my friends now. You know, there are lots of things, whether concussive bombs went off near us and, sent shockwaves through us or whatever it was. It's these accumulated traumatic brain injuries that really change your mind.
That I am finally opening the door and taking a step.
This plant medicine has been around for thousands and thousands of years.
It took me on a journey downrange with these 4 other incredible men, human beings, veterans.
As a result of the medicine, I literally found God.
I took the ibogaine. It was like I got lifted up and then I exploded into forever. I felt infinity.
I was like, I want to see the masks, right? The masks that I've been wearing, and everyone puts the mask on, right? You got to be raw with people. You got to be open. You got to be honest, and quit the fucking sugarcoating, right? And so he goes, okay, here's 3 masks, and I grab them. I'm like, okay, he goes to put them in this box, and he burns it. I think that's when I purged, but I could definitely feel the presence of spirit and the presence of sources.
Because we started out sitting cross-legged with our rattles, looking in a mirror with all this crazy music, and everyone's going shooka, 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 shooka in that rhythm. Like, it just kind of teases things up, and I felt it coming on, and I went, oh shit, this is too much. That's when I put my eye shades on and I laid down. And for a few minutes, I just focused on breathing and just trying to remain calm and just trying to accept the medicine, and it just keeps coming. I mean, it just keeps coming. This stuff is powerful.
Can't be throttle all the time. You got to back it off and slow down and take care of yourself and cool off, and that's just something I'm really bad at, so it was nice to feel it.
What happens in this world is beyond logic. And when these heroes move from the speed of sound to the speed of life, the job really gets dangerous because so many of their wounds are invisible. Emotions get suppressed as a means of survival.
Daniel Summers, who served 2 tours in Iraq, took his own life. He was just 30 years old.
Sadly, he is not the first veteran to do so.
8,000 U.S. veterans commit suicide each year. That's an average of 22 per day.
We're here to tell you this is not the way out.
Literally 52 years of fucking ego, of regret, shame, pain, death, alcohol, drugs, disintegrated in the blink of an eye. I exploded into light, energy, love, indescribable.
I can guarantee you that when you do the medicine, that it's gonna go inside you and it's gonna scrub away all the stuff that you have in your life that's painful, that's shaming, that's whatever word you want to put in there. It's gonna go in there and cleanse your body so that you can start with a new canvas. That's God doing that. He's using the medicine to do it.
And so I'm really looking to provide people that are at the end of their road another option and give them some hope. That's my bliss, is seeing other people, take that step and move out. And I just know in the community I came from, people won't do it unless somebody they know and love has done it before them.
This project is filling a need for me to be a part of something bigger than myself.
I got, 54 years of counseling in a 12-hour period with the medicine. But here's the one thing I want to make sure everybody understands about it. I realize my work has not even started, right? For me. I'm not talking about how we're going to end veteran suicide. We are. That's a done deal.
It was peace. It was a peace that I have never felt before. We're going to be saving lives. We're going to be changing attitudes. No higher purpose, no higher calling than helping your fellow woman, helping your fellow man.
On May 27th, with the opening of Maverick Top Gun, we step out of the cockpit into the real-life stories of decorated pilots.
We're going to heal everybody, not just veterans. Nobody left behind.
No fallen heroes.
3, 2, 1, strike go.
Huh? Can't hear you.
I had myself on mute, so I didn't disrupt the video. That is one strong trailer.
Dude, that is, every time I watch it, man, it's just,
Yeah.
man, he's got a good thing going, and we need to push this out to all of our veterans.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be amazing if we could cure veteran suicide?
Yeah. I'm trying to get Matt to come out. Matt, this is for you. I'm trying to get you to come out October 22nd for the Steam Festival over at the Murfreesboro Airport. They've got enough room for you to land your plane. You can give us rides. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I could be your wingman, dude. I could be your wingman.
I think I would get claustrophobic in that little tiny cockpit.
Dude, I asked him if I could go Mach 1. He's like, I don't think you're ready for Mach 1. And I'm like, nope, I'll probably throw up all over the cockpit. Dude, how fast? Dude, I don't even know how fast Mach 1 is. That just seems fast. Wait, hold on.
700 miles or something like that.
Let me check my handheld computer here, called a phone. Let's see, Mach 1. Whoa.
767 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's fast. Yeah, I'd probably die.
How, like the gas prices these days too, man? Like, how much would it cost to even go Mach 1?
Well, what? Wait, hold on. I mean, airplanes, they take like JP8, right? I mean, that's like
JP5. I think there's different
JP5,
levels.
JP8. I remember that smell in Iraq.
Yeah, the JP5 is what we used to use on the aircraft carrier.
Oh, JP5? Okay.
But I think there's different levels.
Let's see. It's 775 to 840. It's aviation turbine fuel. It's a type of aviation fuel designed for use in aircraft powered by gas turbine engines. Huh.
And there's JP8.
And the price of JP5 fuel per gallon it's $4.81 per gallon in the United States.
Man, it's cheaper than gasoline.
No. Well, no, I paid $4.62 today, so
I paid $4.40, but I went to Costco. So.
Ah, you went to wait? It's $4.40 at Costco.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, and it needs to get down to like $2 again, man. But seriously.
That's where where we're at today, though. I literally have to drive out of my way to go get $4.40 a gallon of gas
to save money, which you're not saving anything because you're using that extra gas just to get to the cheaper gas place.
Right. Come on, Joe. Get your butt in gear.
Yeah, I know. He did. He said it. He said it. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go,
Brandon.
So I don't know what happened to our guest. I don't know if she's in a different time zone and she didn't realize it, but I told her 7 o'clock.
We'll do a makeup. We'll do a makeup.
Yeah, if she reaches back out, we'll get back with her.
Yeah, well, 3 strikes. Okay, 3. Okay, this is strike 1.
Yeah,
you get 2 more times at bat.
We have a lot of good guests coming up, and I'm pretty excited about it. This Saturday is actually this Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is the
Tennessee State Convention,
VFW convention,
and that's very exciting. We have a lot of people getting awards. VFW 12206, just to say one of them is getting a lot of awards. We've got to give our shout out to the Manchester Post. They're apparently getting some really big award. Good for them, Commander King and her post up there. But also want to give a shout out to every single member here in Tennessee. We made 100% membership last week, and it was like 3 or 4 days before we even were supposed to get it. But we got it. We've done it. We did the mission, but we need to continue. We need to continue on. So if you're not in the VFW and you've served overseas, you need to be in the VFW. We are changing lives.
Yes.
Take it from me. I'm a certified national recruiter. I would not lie about that kind of stuff. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Kind of like your recruiter didn't lie to you.
Yeah, it's like camping with guns. Sure, yeah, go join the Marine Corps. You'll have fun. Staff Sergeant, wherever you are, I'm going to find you. I'm going to sit down, we're going to have some coffee, and I'm going to be Whiskey, Tango, Foxtrot, Staff Sergeant. What is going on? Why? Just kidding. I had a great time. I had a great time being a Marine. Still a Marine. A great time being deployed. I'm kind of worried. I don't know if you're worried, Commander Flake, but I don't know where our military is going. I don't know what our commandant's doing. I have faith in him. I do. He was our battalion commander way back in the day in 2002, and he is now the commandant of the Marine Corps. But I guess he's taken our big number of 2012 or whatever it was, and he wants to shrink it down to 150 by 2030 to be a more littoral service, more of our beach advancements and all that kind of stuff, which that's what Marines were. That's what we were put on this earth to do.
Correct.
And so I guess we're going back to our roots. And I have no fault with General Berger. I think he's doing a great job. The that'd be a crazy interview, either to get the MCPON of the Navy or the Commandant of the Marine Corps on this show.
Yes.
And MCPON is the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, correct, Commander Fleek?
I don't recall.
He's the E9, like in charge of he's like a Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, but the Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, right? I don't know. I could be wrong.
So our guest just texted me. She said, I figured that she got the time zones mixed up.
Where's she at?
I'm not sure, but she said, how do you want to proceed? And I said, well, we're on right now.
Is she East Coast or is she like California?
I don't even know, to be honest with you.
What's her area code?
Well,
we're not going to give out her number.
No, I'm doing it through Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
So, she reached out to me, just to give you guys a little heads up on her. She reached out to me and said she found our podcast, which is awesome because people outside our circle are finding it. And she runs Operation Truth, and she's an Army veteran. So I was hoping to get her on so I can find out, like, first of all, how did you find us? I think it's pretty awesome that she found us, you know. So our word is definitely getting out. And she had some very interesting.
I know. Didn't she? She texted us on the Facebook thing, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she found us through Facebook, through YouTube, but I'm trying to build a YouTube channel. Speaking of that, if you're listening, hey, do me a favor, hop over to YouTube and find us on YouTube. And as soon as we get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway.
Yeah.
So I'm
what would be the giveaway? Do you have something in mind, sir?
I still have the flag that Jeffrey Sabins gave us with our logo on it.
Yep.
That will probably be one of them. My wife makes TSP cups for us. So I'll probably give away some of those, some coffee cups.
I'm gonna get our VFW guy Brian Tracy up in Ohio to make us a flag with our TSP logo on it.
Is that the
what do you think?
Is that the guy that you got the flag that you gave me?
Yeah.
So how does he get them to you? Does he mail them down here?
He mails it to me. And he gives me my 3.8 price, so which is a really good price for that amount of work. But do you still have yours? Is it hanging up yet?
No, it's not hanging up, but I'm probably gonna put it on that.
In that back wall.
A big empty space right there. I was thinking about hanging it there.
Yeah, that'd be good, man.
Either that or cover that guy up.
No, don't cover that guy. That guy's a handsome MF.
Yeah, but I feel that people are like, "Wow, this guy's really into himself. He's got a picture of himself hanging in his room behind him."
It's okay, man. We can be a little narcissistic sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time, just sometimes.
Yeah, that was my Father's Day gift when during COVID, when you couldn't go to football games. That picture went to the Detroit Lions game, and then after the season was over with, the Detroit Lions mailed it to me.
Go Lions.
Now it hangs on my door.
Go Lions. How'd they do this year?
Not good.
Not good.
I've been saying that for 58 years, though.
Well, they're better than the Bears, right?
Not really.
No, I was trying to do one up of Paulie, but Paulie's not even on. Paulie, where are you, man? Are you playing golf again?
He was playing golf earlier with his kids. I'm not sure. He's usually throwing comments at us.
Yeah, I know. Joey King is the only one on.
David wants to know.
And there's David. Date and title of the coming movie. Dude, we will send you all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
You need to get a hold of these guys, man. These guys are awesome.
Yeah, I think Proven Valor and you guys and this organization would do some great things together.
And David, you better be talking to Dean Wegner of Authentically American because you guys are looking for T-shirts. He's the guy to do it. He's a West Point grad. He's one of our VFW members. Dean he's a great guy, and his kid is actually an awesome hockey player.
Yeah, I can't wait
Who's
to
he playing
get him
for?
on.
The Spartans?
He's going to Michigan State. He's going to be a Sparty.
Hoorah!
I can't wait to have him on the show.
Who, David or Dean?
Dean.
Yeah, whenever he comes up for air.
Yes.
Dean Wegner, we're calling you out, sir.
So to answer your question, David, I don't know if he has I think the name of the movie is just No Fallen Heroes, right? I think that's
No Fallen Heroes.
And the date would be November 11th.
November 11th.
So we are super looking forward to that.
Right after, the best birthday in the military, and that's the Marine Corps birthday.
Oh, please.
Dude, seriously, man, Matt Bertrand, we were having coffee with a veteran today, and he told me this today. He was like, you Marines ruin Veterans Day with all of your posts about the Marine Corps birthday. I'm like, we're the best branch. I'm sorry, man. Oh, yes, we're speaking with him now. Jeff is keeping great communication to get the ball rolling. Looking forward to it. And you're welcome. You're welcome, David. You're welcome.
Yeah. He's a great guy. Both David.
Yeah, David, Jeff, Wiz. I mean, all of our guests have been
all great guys.
Everyone that we've had on the show is awesome. Army birthday. Yeah, I know it. Yes, I'll be doing the invocation at Fort Negley, Mr. King. Yes.
I was going to talk bad about the Army, but I really like Joey King.
So
I'm not going to say anything bad.
You know what the Army stands for. Ain't really Marine yet. So.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't think I've ever heard that one before.
Do you know what Marine stands for?
I do.
Muscles are required. Intelligence not expected. Or
my ass rides in Navy equipment.
We do. We ride in Navy equipment, sir.
Joey said thank you. I think
he does. Thank you, you're welcome, Joey. And Joey, I hope you get better. You said my name with no fear in their voice.
You're not scary anymore, Jeff. Come on.
Jeff, I'm sorry. You could probably still haze the shit out of me. And you're an E7 until the day you die. And I will be an E4 until the day I die. That's golden, Jeff. Nice. Yes. Yeah, it is, Jeff. Sabins is he's a funny guy, man. He's got a great family. And I can't wait to go up and see him sometime. I don't know. By the way, Jeff, this is for you. We will be having some 3A reunions coming up in August. Weapons Company is the first weekend of August. India Company is in Galax, Virginia. Lima, I think is going to be in Pennsylvania somewhere. That's Travis Gundrum and his thing. And then Kilo Company, have no idea where they're having theirs. But I will let you know when I find out. And we've got silence. What are you thinking about?
So our guest has texted me.
What's she saying?
She wants me to. She asked if I could send the link again.
She wants to get on now.
Yeah, let me see if I can send it to her.
We got 30 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if.
Well, can't she just open up the link like that you sent her?
So she's saying I guess she doesn't have it. So
it's okay. While Commander Fleek is doing that, I want to give a big shout out to Commander Brian Walker. He had his homecoming party this past weekend, and it was an amazing event. And I just want to say to Brian, thank you so much for being a great leader this year. You have done a tremendous amount of work in a short amount of time, and I'm kind of speechless. Like I kind of don't know what to say, because he's done so much for the VFW Tennessee that thank you is just not enough for Brian Walker. So Brian, if you're listening, I I just want to say thank you, and thank you for believing in me 2 years ago. And I know the next place you're going is going to be a good thing for the VFW. And we will continue on in your legacy to make sure that Tennessee is the best and the brightest of all the departments. And I'll probably get a lot of flack for that from Louisiana or from Ohio or Indiana or New York or Florida. And I love all you guys in those departments, Alaska, everywhere, all 54. You guys are great. Everybody in the VFW, all 1.5 members, we are doing the best we can for the VFW. And we have to continue on our 124-year legacy of the VFW.
I'm pretty excited about this weekend of the state convention because I'm finally washed of my position, and Chaps will be officially the new commander.
Yes, I get to. Yeah, but you know what? I won't even be able to sit down and tell them the votes because I got to sit up, with the state guys. So, who's the senior? Who's our senior? It's oh my God. Oh, Dave. It's Dave Roger. But he'll be taking pictures. So that means Herbert has got to do the vote. Hey.
Well, look at this.
Well, look who it is.
Army is always late, right?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Miss Sarah. Oh, you're muted.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, there we go.
Sometimes my microphone doesn't work with every program, so I'm going to go ahead and unplug it.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I can hear you fine.
Yeah.
Hear me now? Okay.
Hello? Check one. Check
Can you
two,
hear me?
Check three.
Yes,
ma'am.
Hello?
Hey.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
We can hear you now.
Right.
Can you hear us?
T-Mobile.
I'm just going to turn it up a little bit more because, like I was saying, my microphone doesn't work with every program. So we're just going to wing it here.
Yeah, well, we got you.
Well, welcome to the Scuttlebutt.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Again, I'm so sorry for the mix-up in the time zone. That was a horrible mistake on my part. I'm forever grateful for your patience and understanding. Thank you so much.
Where are you at? What time zone are you in?
I'm in Pacific Standard Time over here in Washington State.
I knew it. I knew she was over on the other side. I love Washington, by the way. My brother was a cook there. My dad was at Whidbey Island for 2 years. So Washington is great.
Nice. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And on the west side, it's green, probably because we get a lot of rain. I'm pretty cloudy.
I was up there for my brother's funeral in Seattle. He got, what church was he buried at? He was at Swedish Hospital, and then he passed away from colon cancer. We went out there and we went to his funeral, and I love Washington. He actually worked at Canlis. If you've ever been to that restaurant in Seattle, go try it out and go mention my brother's name, and they'll probably hook you up.
All right, will do. Thank you. And I'm sorry about your brother's passing.
It's okay. I had a lot of time to grieve, and he's up top looking over me and making sure I'm doing good. So.
Absolutely. I'm sure he's very proud of you and all that you've accomplished.
I hope so. Matt, you better be proud of me, damn it.
So I just have a question for you before we get started. How did you find TSP the Scuttlebutt?
On Facebook.
Yeah,
there was I don't believe it was, but it was a shared post of one of your video productions that you had put on.
Excellent. Yeah. I love it because it makes me feel good that our word is getting out.
Yeah. We're trying to help people. And
yeah, we have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
So
you guys do great work. I've watched your podcast, and I listened to the one the other day about the flight pilot. I know you, but you probably know the one I'm talking about. And
oh yeah, we just shared his video again because we love it. And Wiz is he's a good dude. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So thank you for all that you guys are doing. Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes. So what we do here is we every Sunday we feature a veteran, and then we give them the opportunity to talk about what they have going on in their lives. And from what it sounds like, you have a lot going on. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
All right. Well, my name is Sarah Boyd, and I'm from Washington State, a small country town. It was a logging town back in its day called Cedro-Woolley. I was born and raised third generation in this small town. So it was one of those kind of country towns that not a whole lot of places to work, but everybody just seems to stay and live and reproduce. So my graduating class in 1998 had 250 students. So at that time we were a AAA school. So it was pretty large, but very small country style type town. And one of which I really wanted to get out of and explore the world. And so when I was 15, the recruiters came to my high school, and it was of every branch. And I was a freshman at that time. And so I approached one of the recruiters, and he said, well, you're too young. Come see me in 2 years. And so I did just that. And my best friend at the time, we went and spoke to the Marine recruiter at the age of 17. And we were both going to join the delayed entry program. And so I ended up having an Army recruiter speak to me. And I told him that my plan was to go in the Marines. And he says, why?
Oh, he said that? Oh, man.
And then he tells me about all the amazing things that the Army could give me instead. How I could choose my own job, how they would give me $40,000 for college. And so it looked pretty sweet at the time. And so I was like, all right, let's do this. And I was a pretty ignorant child. I was not mature for my age, and I knew I needed to go to college, and I wasn't going to get any other scholarships than going into the military. And so that $40,000 college fund looked really good to me. And at the time, that was the highest scholarship that anyone in my high school had received. So I took the ASVAB like any other high school test I had taken, and I didn't really realize how important that test was. So I ended up having 3 choices at the Army MEP station. They said you could either be a fuel system supply specialist, a cook, or a mechanic, small wheeled mechanic. And so I was like, well, I enjoy working on vehicles. And at the time I worked on my 1974 Volkswagen Bug every day, all the time. It was my senior project. But I didn't want to do that in the military for 4 years. And so the other option was a cook. And I was like, nah, I don't want to get up that early and do all those dishes and deal with all that. So I chose fuel system supply, having only a 30-minute clip, if that, of an idea of what that was at all at the MEP station. And I chose that for 4 years. And then I graduated high school in June of 1998, and 2 months later, I joined the Army. I went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina for basic training.
Chillaxin' Jackson.
Yeah, that's what they say. But it was by any means relaxing for me, or probably any soldier that went through that course at the time. It was very hot. I went through the hottest part of summer, and from July, August, and then graduated, I believe, the end of August, first part of October, where they shipped us out to our next destination was for our advanced individual training. And I did my fuel system supply training at Fort Lee, Virginia. And then, unbeknownst to me, I was selected for an additional skill identifier. So while all my fellow soldiers, service members were going to their first duty station, I went on to another training facility. And it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best. They sent me to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri for 88 Mike truck driving school. And that was during the coldest part of my military career, well, besides Korea, in January through March timeframe. And then when I graduated that, I finally got to my first duty station at Hunter Army Airfield in Georgia.
In
and
Savannah!
It was the third duty station that anyone could have probably got. So I was truly blessed for that.
Man, well, I lived in Savannah for, let's see, from 95 to 2012. I love Savannah, and I'm so glad that you are at Hunter.
We were there at the same time, it seems. I was there from... Go ahead.
Sorry, you go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all right. I was there from 99 until 2001 or 2000.
Yeah, I was probably drunk at St. Patty's Day parades for about 3 or 4 years. Yeah, definitely.
We definitely crossed paths at some point because I
We
was
must have.
definitely.
We must have, because Savannah. I mean, if you're down on River Street, you're definitely having the hunch punch and crawling home.
Yep, many a days. I was pregnant for that time frame. I decided to start my family at the age of 19. I married another service member that was stationed there at Hunter, and he was a heavy construction equipment operator. And so we decided to have two children. In between the two, and I'm only sharing this because it's pertinent to what I'll speak to later. In between the two pregnancies, I had a miscarriage. And so it was a very stressful time. I was in the military for 10 years. I was on active duty in the Army from 98 until 2008. And as a result of what I'll get into a little bit deeper later, I had no idea at the time it was a vaccine injury was causing multiple chronic illnesses to occur at the beginning of my military career, as early as 2 months after my first vaccines in basic training. And I remember, and I have this in my medical records, that my legs were so swollen that my service members were asking, "What's wrong with your ankles?" Because we had to wear our pumps and our skirts for our graduation. And so you could definitely see that I had no definition in my ankles. So at that time, they thought it was just tendonitis because I was doing so much additional physical exercise. But it was actually lymphedema. And so several years later, in 2012, is when I was finally diagnosed with lymphedema at the Austin VA.
Do you know, can you pinpoint which vaccine it was?
The VA, and this is in my medical records as well, believes that it was the anthrax vaccine. But without further medical research, we'll have no idea. And the VA also admits on their public health website that there are several environmental exposures that cause what they call chronic multi-symptom illness, which used to be called and is still very well known as Gulf War illness. And several of these exposures are, as what we know, depleted uranium, sarin gas, the burn pits, and several other environmental exposures. But what we also don't hear a lot about is the contaminated water on multiple facilities, much like Camp one of our Marine bases, and the fight that it has taken to get any benefits for not just the veterans, but the spouses and the families as well. Because when you're service connected and you pass away from a medical condition that you're not service connected for, your survival benefits don't go anywhere. They don't go to your spouse, they don't go to your kids. You're not authorized those benefits because you passed away from something that you were not service connected for. And so that's why one of the major reasons why I started Operation Truth. Because if the VA is going to admit that vaccines injure, and they're going to go on to diagnose patients like myself with vaccine immunoglobulin anti-sera adverse reaction, say that 10 times fast,
Right.
without any, without any CFR code or any way to be service connected, then we have to have a change. And the only way to change anything in the VA is through an act of Congress. So I started my 501c3 charity, Operation Truth, which used to be called Operation Truth Gulf War Illness Suffering Unite. But as I started and began this process, I realized due to the nature of funding and many other structures, we are not united. And we are not going to work together in this fight. And it's unfortunate. And so as a reality, we changed our name to be more fitting with our mission. And so we changed it to be Operation Truth Vaccination Exposure Research, because that's really what we're trying to achieve. The only way that we can get service connection, the only way that we can be understanding of why vaccines cause injury to some and not to others is with medical research. and that it's critical for not just the veterans and veteran families, but for our entire populace globally. With this information, we can determine who's more susceptible to vaccine injury. And not only will we understand what vaccines do to the body, but we will also have that knowledge so that it will allow those individuals that, are more of a deterrent from getting those vaccines to maybe possibly have that knowledge and then get those vaccines instead. There's so much misinformation out there, and I could go on for hours about this, but I will say this, that even though our social media platforms and our mainstream media and our U.S. government are portraying an image that vaccines don't injure, they do cause injury. And it is extremely important that we do something about it, because an entire demographic of patients are not being seen as patients. We're being denied health care. We're being denied through policies that are very discriminatory to be part of the public. And with this pandemic, it has really created quite a chaos for my patient demographic.
Excuse me. Are you still feeling the effects from your ordeal?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I have a
you're good.
Need a lot of water. We're still trying to determine which autoimmune disease I have and what's causing the neurological dysregulation and dysfunction. I've been diagnosed so far with my chronic multi-symptom illness with over 26 debilitating medical conditions that cause over 60 different symptoms.
Wow.
Whoa.
When we go ahead.
Is the VA helping you?
Yes and no. The VA is great at making it look like they're helping you. And what they really do in reality is deny and gaslight and then deny some more. They love to portray that it's all in your head, even though it's in your medical diagnosis problem list, even if it's from their own colleagues through their own VA system. So get this, there's a risk center. It's the War-Related Injury and Illness Study Center. The facility in Palo Alto has been around since the 40s. They've been studying several different things, from allergy effects to vaccinations to many different things. And so, since the early 90s, they've been studying the effects of Gulf War illness, which is now known as chronic illness. And so on the west side of the nation, they'll send you to the Palo Alto facility in California. And if you're on the east side, they'll send you to the other two facilities. The VA system is so broken that I was admitted to the Palo Alto facility not once, but twice. But when I was referred to the one on the east coast, because I was living in Michigan, I was denied. And their reason was because they stated that all of my medical conditions were caused by fibromyalgia, and I didn't deploy. So that should tell you a lot about how disconnected our own VA system is within their own medical diagnoses, because this is definitely not something that our civilian sector medical community has any knowledge of. They're not diagnosing their patients with chronic multi-symptom illness. They're doing research on the effects of environmental exposures, but not to the extent that the VA is to try to determine what's causing so much illness in our veterans.
So, what part of Michigan were you in?
I was on the west side, close to Lake Michigan.
Okay.
I was in Muskegon, if anyone's familiar with Michigan.
I am.
He's from Michigan.
I'm from Michigan.
Okay, great. Which part were you from?
Dearborn, just outside Detroit.
Yeah, I've been there. Not that often. It's on the other side of Michigan, but
correct.
I stuck my feet in every single one of the Great Lakes. So that was a pretty big achievement while I was there.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. So did the Army medically retire you?
No, unfortunately, when I was going through the process, I was one of the very first ones to go through their medical evaluation board proceedings. and it was through Fort Lewis, Washington. And they were pushing us through, even though it took a good 8 months to go through the process. I had ended up seeing 2 JAG officers to try to get some advice on what to do. The Army had only rated me at 20% for 8 different injuries and illnesses. And within the month that I got out and the VA rated me, I was already rated at 60%. So it was a huge difference. And the reason why is because anything over, I think every military branch is the same, but don't quote me on that. At least the Army, it was 30% or more is retirement. And then anything under than that is just a medical chapter. And so when I went to see the JAG officers, both of them advised me that if I tried to fight it, more likely or not, I would get less than more. And so I was already, on my way out. I was thinking about becoming a civilian. I was already in that out process and about to start a civilian job, at the Port of Seattle. So I decided to go with the severance pay, and I was medically chaptered in October of 2008.
That's interesting.
After that, I tried to fight for my chapter to be changed. I hired 2 different law groups that claimed that they could do the job. I've paid over $10,000 out of pocket in lawyers' fees to try to accomplish that task, and it never was at this time. I just have so many other things that I'm trying to accomplish. I felt that was not necessary. So, within the year of being out, I was not able to work in the administrative position that I took at Port of Seattle. So I ended up losing that job, and I decided to go back to school. And I regained my education, and I chose to go to become a massage therapist. And once I accomplished that, and I was able to get my license, and then I became even more sick and more injured, and I wasn't able to work in that field. And it became prevalent that I wasn't able to work in any field. And so I ended up applying for Social Security disability. And for anyone to claim that anyone that's on Social Security disability, especially if they're a veteran, is faking it. And I know there's some instances out there. I get it. But when you're a veteran, it is extremely difficult to get Social Security disability. In my case, it took 4 years, 3 appeals, and I had to hire Binder and Binder Law Group, which took us to a 11-panel hearing with the judge, which was it was just like in the movies, I swear. It was like the judge was sitting up here in her pedestal, overlooking us minions as she was about to, tell me if I was too injured and sick to work. And so as we're going through this process, the judge is coming to the end of her hearing, and she turns to me and she says, "So, do you believe that the anthrax vaccine has caused these issues?" And I said, "Yes, Your Honor, I do." And she says, "I agree with you." And so I was on record that this judge is agreeing that these issues were caused by the anthrax vaccine. And that was just one of many instances that I've had a lot of high power individuals that have agreed that these vaccines do cause injury, and we need to do something about it.
Andrew, are you getting Social Security, Andrew?
I am getting, actually, it was pretty painless. It took I think 3 months. And I guess you're saying that I was one of the lucky ones to get it. I have had the anthrax shots, and I did get Social Security. So I haven't seen any, what's the word? Complications. I didn't like to, I only took 3 shots of anthrax because I was deployed in Fallujah in 2005, Ramadi 2006, and then I was on a Navy ship 2007. But I'm actually hearing this from other veterans of what you just said. Getting the Social Security benefits now is a lot harder. I got it. Gosh, I've been, let's see, probably 3 years now. I've got a guy who was trying to get it, and he got denied after appealing twice. And you have to get lawyers involved. So I guess I was one of the lucky ones because I went into the Social Security office, gave them my certificate of eligibility and DD 214, and I've been getting it for the past 3 years. So I don't know.
Sarah, so when they finally did a preview, did they pay you retroactive from day one?
They did, and thank you for bringing that up, because the judge also stated that if she could, she would have retroacted it all the way back to when I got out of the military, which would have been 5+ years. But at that point, they were only going back 3 years. I think now it's only 1. So I was blessed to be able to be at that time to be able to still get that back pay for 3 years. And then I paid my law group 20% or $6,000.
Right. Yeah. So now that you have Operation Truth, how active are you guys? What are you guys doing to?
Yeah. How can we help you guys?
Right. Exactly.
Well, thank you for asking. We have an amazing website for any other information you like. For what I don't share here, it's at operationtruth.net. We're on every social media platform that you can think of. And our major project right now, we're trying to get sponsorship and donations for, is a video documentary highlighting chronic multi-symptom illness and the effects it has on our patients, and just the wide range of illness that occurs as a result of these different exposures that we've been exposed to throughout our military career. And it's highlighting both those that have been deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan and those that haven't deployed, like myself. Because as we know, even though we don't all deploy, we still get vaccinations and other things to make sure that we are military ready to do so. And on top of that, we have what is called the anthrax vaccination immunization program. There's our website. It's being revamped at this moment. We're switching servers so that we can be more efficient. We're adding new pages so you can have a better understanding of what we're doing. With this video documentary, we're going to be adding also the therapies that are amazing and are helping our chronic illness patients get through their multitude of challenges. And then on top of that, we're going to be adding in cannabis therapy, how you can grow your own and cook your own therapeutic food and things of that nature. And then I just got word this last week, we found a trainer that is a self-defense trainer. I found her through TikTok, amazing platform. You can reach out to all kinds of different people. She's based out of Texas, and she's agreed to put together a self-defense training course for individuals like myself that are vulnerable out in the public using our medical devices, and how we can use our medical devices like a cane or other things to make ourselves have more strength and be less vulnerable in those states. And so this video documentary is going to not only bring awareness to all of those things I mentioned, but we're going to be using it as a testimony at our congressional hearing once we get there. Much like Burn Pits 360, it takes a long time. It's a long, lengthy process to finally get heard by Congress. But when we do, we're going to be prepared. And with this video documentary, we're going to be able to show them, not just through word of mouth, but actual visual aid, that why we need this money for research.
Are you up to date on the PACT Act and where it's going to be introduced to the Senate and all that kind of stuff?
I am not, unfortunately, but I believe, if I'm correct, I saw a post not too long ago that the Senate, it wasn't passed.
Not yet, but it will be. It will. We're trying really hard.
Good.
actually, our commander in chief, he just spoke at Washington about a month ago, and Jon Stewart was there, and they're trying to get it passed. And I know we have some good support here in Tennessee. I don't know about Washington. I don't know about the other departments in the VFW, but I know the VFW is very much behind the PACT Act.
Unfortunately, when it comes to our mission, because of the nature of what it is, it's vaccine injury.
Yeah.
And they're not prepared to talk about that. It's something that they don't. There's a topic that nobody wants to touch. And anyone in the medical community, anyone in Congress, the moment they put their name on that, it makes them look, bad, and that they're promoting misinformation. So we need to change that piece. And I might be overreaching and over speaking on this, but the way we change that piece is we take it to the media sources that are calling our information misinformed. And so I had came across online what I call the Bible for Twitter. It's a book that they put together on how they can combat misinformation when it comes to vaccinations. And if they don't have me listed by name, but it most definitely says disabled veteran. It mentions anthrax and several different things that pinpoint my organization as being misinformation. And so we have reached out to a law group. They said that we do have a case that could be slander, and we could possibly, have a way of changing this misinformation in the media, because it isn't misinformation. We do have patients that are being diagnosed with vaccine injury. We are having multitude of chronic illness occurring, and it's happening again with this COVID vaccine. And so we need to do something about it before it continues to harm more individuals.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the COVID vaccine. So do you just stay away from all vaccines now?
As a risk factor, I do. And as a result of the policies that a lot of our states and federal government have put in place, it has made my demographic of individuals like myself that have chosen not to because it is a risk. I'm not being able to be in public. They have put policies in place where if you're not vaccinated, you can't go to certain events in certain event centers. You can't be even outside at these events. And so there's just a lot of misinformation, and it's unfortunate, and we can't change that without research.
Right. To listen to everything that you went through, it's interesting to me that when the COVID vaccine first came out, the federal government put laws into place that you couldn't sue the manufacturers if you got sick. But then when I hear stories like you, I'm like, well, what the heck, man? That doesn't sound cool at all.
No. In fact, we do have what is called the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. And what they do is for those occurrences when you do have an individual that vaccine injured, you can go through those court systems and be compensated. But unfortunately, they make it so difficult that not that many individuals actually get compensated. But there are a large amount of individuals that do. And I'm talking billions of dollars have been placed out to these individuals as a result. And the COVID vaccine, when it comes to injuries as a result of the COVID vaccine, there is an injury compensation program for that vaccine. And in certain circumstances, you can. But I believe, just like with the anthrax, when it comes to our military service members and veterans, we are not part of that injury compensation program because of the policies that they have put in place. It gave them an open door, so to speak, to give anything to us that they would like without any accountability. And that's another thing that Operation Truth will be achieving with this congressional bill and outreach that we are attempting to achieve, is going to hold them accountable for what they did. And I'm sure U.S. Congress will do that because somebody has to pay for the damage. But when it comes to the vaccine injury compensation program, when the funds that go in there, is from the taxes of each individual vaccine. And each vaccine is taxed. So when you think of a vaccine that has 3 different vaccines in one, because there's a few like that, it gets taxed 3 times. That's a lot of money. That's trillions of dollars that goes into this injury compensation program. And when it's not used, it gets filtered out to other programs to be used.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Huh.
So my hopes and my vision is that U.S. Congress will see the need for this medical research. They will see the trillions of dollars that goes into this injury compensation program and be like, you know what? That's what we need to do. We need to use the trillions of dollars for this research so that we can stop the injury from occurring at all and learn more and have this knowledge instead of just telling people it doesn't happen.
Right. So how can our listeners help you out?
Yeah.
What can we do?
You can go to operationtruth.net and it will show you how you can get involved, whether if you're a veteran and you'd like to be part of our video documentary, or if you'd like to donate. We are receiving in-kind donations. We are looking for an RV to help you conduct our video documentary series, which will be recording across the nation starting at the end of this year. In addition to that, we are putting together a longboard competition. I don't know if you guys are familiar with longboard dance or freestyle.
No, you definitely need to explain that. I have no idea what that is.
All right. So one of my hobbies is something that I used to do before I was injured, as physically injured as I am, was while I was still on active duty, is longboarding. I used to also snowboard, and so I decided to get back into longboarding and try to retrain my brain and be able to do something for myself, my mental state as well. And so I can't cruise like I used to on my longboard because of my heart condition. I can't even drive it anymore because of my heart condition. But so I was trying to find something I could do that would be easier to get me from point A to point B with using less energy.
Is that like the long skateboard thing?
Yeah, it's absolutely.
Oh God, yeah, I had a guy in college that's all he rode was a longboard. And I was like, why are you doing? But it looked cool. I can't do it. I'm not a surfer. I never surfed in my life, so I don't. I think I'd fall and break my ass if I did that.
Yeah, and I've done that on snow. I actually broke my tailbone snowboarding, but yeah, when I was still on active duty. But yeah, that's basically what longboarding is. You're surfing on the
road. On the
road.
Yeah, that's kind of cool, so actually.
You add dancing and freestyle. It's basically longboarding with tricks. So I'm sure you've seen skateboard tricks.
Yeah, the little jump thing, the skate grind, the ollie, Tony Hawk, he does all that stuff.
Yeah, so they can do that with a longboard too. I mean, I can't do all of that, but yes, it's awesome. And so when you think of dance, now think of longboard dancing. You're basically dancing on top of your longboard as it's moving.
Okay, that just sounds really dangerous, and I'm not coordinated to do it. But if you can do it, that's great. More power to you. I know I can't do that.
I can't dance or longboard.
No, I can't dance or longboard. I don't. Dude, you should see me dance. It's terrible. It's horrible. Katrina, my wife, she loves it when I dance, but I don't dance in public.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No.
So it's all about retraining your brain when you have injuries, whether it be physical or mental. And so that's what I'm trying to achieve. And so like longboarding and chronic multi-symptom illness, not a whole lot of people understand it. And so what we are doing is we're putting together a competition here in the Seattle, Washington area for longboard dance and freestyle to allow those like myself who have limitations to compete at that same level, but with other individuals that are limited able as well. So it's going to be pretty amazing, and I'm hoping to pull it off. But
that's
it's gonna be August in this year, so we definitely need as much amazing donations and assistance as they can do.
Well, that's hecatite. Is that what you guys say up in Seattle? Hecka or Hella? Is it
We used to
hecatite?
wear Hella back in the day when South Park was just coming in the late '90s. Yeah,
it's hella tight, dude.
I used to say that all the time.
Yeah, you guys have a different language out there in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, you guys got good microbrews.
Marijuana.
The King.
Marijuana, yes.
What's that? The King salmon. Oh my God, that's oh my Lord, that's amazing food out there. And I went to Bremerton once, and I had poutine. Oh my God, it was amazing. So good.
Oh yeah.
The food out there is wicked good. Oof.
There's a huge cultural influence. Any culture that you can think of is here in the Western Washington. So think of all the amazing food that can come out of that cuisine. And I eat a lot here.
I need to get over to the West Coast. I haven't been there, and it's been 2 years. The last time I was there was Napa. But my uncle grew up in Eugene, and Seattle was home. My brother went to University of Washington before he died, and he was a rower, and I went out there a couple times. I love Seattle. I love the weather. I mean, I like the rain. I'm sorry. I like rain. I like fog. I love it. Okay. It was like 90 degrees yesterday here in Tennessee. It was hot. Yeah. I'd rather be out in Seattle right now.
That's so true. I'm loving the cool down while the rest of the northern hemisphere is on their heat. Their high heat already. We haven't broke 80 here. I think 76, I think, was the high for our area. But since you spoke of University of Washington, that's why I'm here in Washington State, is seeking care from the University of Washington, because they have the most amazing medical community and staff.
Yeah, yes they do.
Yeah, with the open-minded ability to deal with a complicated case like my own. You can't imagine how many doctors, when you tell them you have vaccine injury, they look at you and you're like, okay, right. And then the deny comes in, it's all in your head and you're crazy. And oh, by the way, you're wearing sunglasses indoors. What's up with that? You would think that the medical community would obviously understand that it's for a medical reason, but they don't. And I do wear it because I have keratitis and it causes hypersensitivity to light. But as many of us chronic illness patients, we have hypersensitivities to all stimuli. And mine is due to an autonomic neuropathy response. I have autonomic neuropathy, which, if you know anything about the nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system is what regulates your fight or flight and rest and digest. And so it does a lot for your body, and when that doesn't work correctly, everything is messed up and stuff.
Wow, I didn't know any of that. I mean, my dad was a doctor, but he was a psychiatrist, so he didn't really talk about that stuff. And I did not go to the doctor route or the lawyer route. And I went to the Marine Corps route. That's where I went because I was good at that. And you almost joined the Marine Corps, but you joined the Army instead. That's okay.
I ended my career as a counterintelligence special agent.
Yeah, okay. Can we get in? I was going to ask you about that. Where does that come into your life?
Well, I ended up, both my husband and I at the time, in early 2001, we got out under the family care plan because we were several thousand miles away from our family. We didn't have anyone that could help us take care of our child. And so for myself, 3 months later, 9/11 happened. And so we both ended up going back in the Army. He chose to go back in as his same MOS, and then I decided to change my MOS to become an administrator. So I did that a few years, and then I realized that I was never going to get promoted and continue in my career. So I decided to go back to school, and I raised my GT score and so high that I could choose any MOS. And
nice.
So
Very nice.
They wanted me to become a linguist, and I didn't want to do that at the time. Looking back now, that would have been amazing to know another language. How cool. Especially trained and paid for by the U.S. Army. But I decided to go counterintelligence special agent instead. Before that, I was going to go CID, which is in the Army's Criminal Investigative Division. And I didn't like the community. I didn't like how they stabbed each other in the back. And so I decided that that was not for me. And I wanted to go into military intelligence instead. And I'm so glad I did. The training at Fort Huachuca, Arizona was intense. It was the most mental, anguishing training I've ever done in my life. It was a pilot program, and what should have been well over 20 weeks was crammed under 20 weeks because they didn't want to pay us TDY. And it was intense, to say the least. But I made it through, and I became a counterintelligence special agent. And they shipped me to Korea to be part of the 2nd Infantry Division.
Whoa.
And that's where my career ended.
Where at in Korea were you?
I was at Camp Red Cloud. And so I was in Area 1. And I, at that time, still received hazardous duty pay because I believe we were still considered under war. So it was it was pretty amazing. I wasn't there for the full year term I was supposed to because I became very ill and I was on quarters for a large portion of the time I was there. But when I wasn't, I did get to see a lot of the amazing country and just take in the sights and just how different the culture is from here. And I got to go to the DMZ because how often do you ever get to do that in your life?
Right. Yeah.
And, I'm truly blessed to be able to have gone and done so many amazing things in my 20s before I was 30. And I threw a live hand grenade. I blew up a Claymore mine, and I might not have went to war, but I just still did some pretty cool shit.
You did a lot of cool shit. How long were you in Korea?
It was just about 8 months, I believe. I was there.
8 months. There we go.
Here it goes. Here goes Andrew's spiel now.
Sorry. That you get to be into the VFW.
Yeah, you're VFW. You're
VFW eligible, by the way.
Oh, really?
You didn't know that?
No.
No, 30 plus, 60 plus days in Korea gets you into the VFW.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. Well,
So congratulations, and I will give the commander of Washington of the VFW to give you a call because I know him, and me and Commander Fleek will see him in July. So we will definitely talk to him about you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I've been reaching out to a lot of the local VSOs to try to have them allow me to speak at their group or, give them our flyer. And just like the VA, they're very hesitant because it's not coming from the VA and it has to do with vaccinations. And so I'm hoping to change that.
Sarah, I'll make a couple calls. I've got a little pull, so yeah. I'll make a couple calls. Don't worry.
So wow, this has been an amazing opportunity. I can't say.
I'm a state officer, and I know some other state officers, and I can definitely make a couple calls for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
But you have to do me a favor, and actually, Commander Flake, you got to send us something that is some amazing Washington food. All right, you got to send us some stuff that's gonna last.
Do you like smoked salmon?
Yeah,
I got you.
Is the Pope Catholic? Yeah, of course so. Yeah.
We have the best smoked salmon.
I remember it. It's pretty damn good.
I'll get it fresh from my family, who gets it straight from the Skagit River.
Okay, cool. Nice. No, that's great. And how far are you from Seattle?
I am right in Seattle. I'm in the University District. So technically it's still Seattle, but we're I guess it would be the northeast of the actual main location of Seattle downtown.
Yeah, my brother lived on 500 West Roy Street in Prince Elizabeth. No, Prince. There's Constitution. Dang. Yeah, 500 West Roy Street. So it's you go up the hill, and it's that long row of houses up there, and that's where my brother used to live.
Was that in the Capitol Hill area? Do you remember?
Princess Anne district. Yeah, that's where he lives, or he used to live.
Yeah, Seattle is so huge. There's so
Huge.
many districts and areas, and yeah, if you're not from here, you pretty much got to pull up a map.
Yeah. What's the name of the store where they throw the fish?
Oh, that's Pike Place Market. Yeah.
Which I had a fish thrown in my face at Pike's Place Market. I did, and I'm not going to give it away, but
That's funny.
the last fish that they throw you, watch out.
Yeah. You will become part of their act.
Yeah.
Oh, for real? So they chuck it
and they
at you?
give like motivational videos. Like I remember working at Sherwin-Williams way back in the day, and they showed us this video on how you're supposed to work in this kind of area. And so they do a lot of life stuff, and this is how you're supposed to do business, and this and this and this. It was okay, but I like Pike Place Market. It's beautiful.
Yeah. I haven't been there yet because the weather hasn't been the best. And COVID and everything. So I haven't been there since COVID. But before COVID, the energy was just amazing, and they would hand you pieces of fruit to try, like fruit that you wouldn't even know the names of, that you wouldn't get in any other kind of other grocery stores, and several artists, and it's just an amazing feeling just to be down there, and all the history. There's an underground part of Seattle that not a lot of people know. If you're a tourist,
I didn't even know about that. That's interesting.
It's part of the original Seattle, but because they built the city of Seattle below sea level, it would get flooded all the time. So they had to raise the city. They raised the entire city up a level, and so there is literally an underground city where it was the original Seattle. And so,
Is that for real?
No, I'm gonna look that up.
It's worth the Google. But yeah, you can take a tour sometime if you come to Seattle, and they'll take you. They used to take you underground, and you got to see the original city. It was
now I have two reasons to visit Seattle. You and my uncle. Oh my God, Uncle Jimmy. He lives on Marine Trace over in Seattle. I just don't know where it is. I got to go visit you and him, so no problem. We'll be out there soon.
Great. I'll be here until September, unless things change with my surgery. I might be here a little bit longer.
Okay.
So then where do you go at in September?
I'm going back to Michigan, where my daughters and grandsons are.
Right on.
I have two daughters. My oldest is 22. My youngest is 18. And
you're a grandmother?
Yes, I have three grandsons.
What?
My oldest.
You're way too young to be a grandmother. Way too young.
Well, like I said, I started my family at the age of 19. I started my career at 17. So it's, I'm retired, essentially retired, since I can't work and I'm getting disability compensation. So, I'm right there at that age and where I'm at on my journey in life to be a grandma.
Well, congratulations, because grandmother, you look fabulous.
It's the glasses. You can't see all the wrinkles.
You know what? You probably, you look fine. You're like the Mona Lisa. Okay. You're like the Mona Lisa, Sarah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. As a chronic multi-symptom illness patient, a lot of things have changed. I can't wear makeup because I'm allergic to everything. I have to, embrace my whatever natural beauty that I think I have, and put a smile on my face, and it just adapt and overcome. That's what we have to do.
Right. You're taking that from us, by the way. You're taking that from the Marines. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. That's our thing. Okay. That's not an Army thing. That's a Marine thing.
All right. You guys can have it.
Oh, come on. I'm just giving you shit. I'm just kidding. Well, this is awesome. Sarah, thank you so much. Commander Fleek, how are we looking on time, sir?
We're at an hour and 25 minutes. So
it's the longest show we've ever had.
So
a little late to the game. So
no. It's cool. No. This is good. No, we keep on getting longer and longer, and It's actually, we get more listeners, and it's actually, it's better for us when we're on longer. So,
Well, thank you. I'm glad that I could hopefully give you some content that will be worthy. And
oh, you did. It's very worthy, Sarah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
hopefully you can get something out of this also from our listeners. So
Yeah, we'll start spreading your word around. I'll make some calls out to the great Pacific Northwest, and actually, I'm going to introduce you to someone in Seattle. She's a good friend of mine. I'm not going to give her a name out here right now, but she's with the Irreverent Warriors out there in Seattle. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
I have.
Okay, well, I used to be the regional and district coordinator for Tennessee and Alabama. You probably know her, actually. And they just, when the hell is their hike? I don't know, but they're supposed to have a hike soon. And so
It's coming up in a couple weeks, actually.
Then you already know. Then you already know Michelle, don't you? You know her, don't you?
I unfortunately don't, because I haven't been part of their organization. I haven't met up with their group. I'm familiar with a lot of those that are part of Irrelevant Warriors across the nation. I just want to commend you on all that you've done for that group. But
well, thank you. I worked really hard. I actually got out of it last year to concentrate on the VFW, but I still love the people from IW, Donnie O'Malley, Cindy, Fiera McNally, Nate McDonald, and then everybody in Seattle. I mean, they have a great bunch of guys out there, guys and girls, and I'll definitely get you plugged in with them too.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you both for the opportunity and for everything they're doing for our community and beyond, because everyone can benefit from what we have to give to these shows. So thank you so much.
Very true. That is so true, Sarah. Thank you. And thank you too for popping on with us, and we're going to try and spread everything that you have to our listeners. Commander Fleek, you got anything else?
No, I just want to say, whenever your video comes out, let us know. We'll definitely push it for you. And if you ever have any information to get out, just let us know. We have no problem talking about
or sharing it.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. I will do that.
Yeah, whatever you need from us, you just let us know.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna shut her down. We'll see you guys next Sunday at 1900 hours Central Time. Sarah.
Central Time. See you guys.
Take care.
Bye.